Ansemo. Ansemo. Where do you see can cancel? Okay. I know receipt to one. The okay can receipt it at was when in Kitwa Mwadi was starting in Kitwa because maybe I know yet, man. Everything about security with him. And to a one chance, I'm not sure as some more Becca will grow. That's scare you.
It's simple. All the monies that you paid to the so-called people you said you paid when you were the head of NSB, who gave you the authorization to pay? Because that money is government money. Unless you want to tell me, can the past sign it off for you to pay? Because if even the national security budget is not published, nobody can just go into the national security monies and just pick and start paying.
Following letter, former director for National Signal Bureau, Dikin Kwabena Edu Boahen, Edebetogwa, Ochere said that 49 million Ghana cedis. I said, Afanesa Suntia, Yadina Kojina, Asemdibia, ya try no, Ebusia. Edebetogwa says he can't be called ha, be called, says opposition party hall, be called parliamentary select committee, be called aid of the former, be called aid of President Mahama Ho. Any Adebusia has sparked a lot of debate and controversies about now when you have some bodies are say in some Togano there was security implications. Sabi the Ebusia security analyst a friend of Richard Kumado are reacting. Sansona and Yaa Brefo also are reacting. Now feels Kevin Ekobedu Taylor or the reaction be Abba Ochemu say and Sama a branch here and as a former NSB boss Kwabena Edu Boahen to Gano or Peu Aba Yedebo Techino Yedebo Bani and say NCA in the PB misappropriation of funds. Now go pay more if you why is Kwabena Edu Boahen preventing himself from facing the loss of the land? Ebusia say enye sabi the honorable Afenyomark is doing APM then na ayaka fa no Ebusia measure say we just answer me na mo ama na answer na measure say first time near subscribe to Secret TV. Now feel free say watch the word na first answer me mama me in the comment section. Ebusia na no ya na beto gwa say former NSB bichiremu National Signal Bureau director aye Kwabena Edu Boahen former director yes ne trial ye de gina ano say skebi aye 49 million Ghana cedis. It has been misappropriated and you know attorney general file case as I there or former director general no and I say former director no ogina court okoyi sansem no ano I don't know ya remanded into Yoko custody for 1 week to reappear in court na ebra Dikin Kwabena Edu Boahen ewo Yoko custody no or let be able to go achiremu say sika na esusu say eno no waye bone a misappropriate sika no anya ne nko a spend this can here wachiremu abodi a kire say sika ne be call parliamentary select committee e be call the aid of former and I said the former aid to President Mahama ho any ade ebusia sansem we na security analyst friend of Richard Kumado wa react chiremu say nsem na Kwabena Edu Boahen to go no it has security consequences and I said it has some consequences on the security of Ghana. And you know, say Ansheni ya a DB or the back any revelations be or the back Sanchez said the prosecution to Aswa he's going to further release some information it will have an implication on Ghana's security. Sansem way Nebusia Richard Kumado our security consultant while reacting. Sansuna and Yaa Brefo also the reaction can say about
where do you see cancel? Okay. I know receipt to one. The okay can receipt it at home. Was when in Kitwa Mwadi was starting in Kitwa because maybe I know yet, man. Everything about security with him. And to a one chance, I'm not sure as some more Becca will grow. That's scare you.
No. Nyamana or Troy, I was say classified. None of them is a classified information. No. I don't know those who advise him to do it. None of Nyamana or Troy are classified information. But could be a column be or Troy classify one can what exactly what it is.
So
Nyamana or none of them is a classified
National
information.
Security Bureau
things we know already.
He also said in a statement say and the current president, the special aid signals bureau at Okama.
Is that one of the things they asked him to go and do there? Has he got clearance Why did he go financing some of those things? It's a matter for him to answer.
But the question is,
you bought a car for opposition member. Did they ask him to go and be doing those things? Or they asked him to go and make sure that in his institution as a signal bureau, he's working to add to the national security interest?
My question is, now that the question that comes to mind is, then who ordered him to do that?
That is what I was explaining to you. So most of these things, before you do, number one, you need clearance from the secretariat. And number two, you need sanctioning. The question for him is, who sanctioned some of these expenditures? And who authorized or gave him a clearance for some of these expenditures? And that is the question for him to answer. As somebody who has such a sensitive institution.
And he's actually warning them that, look, if you don't take care of what I'm going to be saying,
we don't care about what you are going to say. Shut your mouth. You have been put in front of a very international organization. If it is your father's business, is that the way you behave?
If somebody also sanctions
your wife giving clearance, does your wife work with the institution? You guys are joking in this country. Everybody misbehaves and they justify it. Who give your wife clearance? Is it Kandapa? Does your wife work with the institution? Yes, has your wife is employed? And you're coming to tell us that the things you know, you put it out there. Who killed Nixon? Who killed President Nixon is all over the place. And who shot Donald Trump is all over the place. What is it about what he put out there that borders on national security interests and threats? It has nothing. There is a pure misconduct. You went out of your jurisdiction, spend money on items that has nothing to do with the National Signal Bureau.
Yaa Brefo seminar can say yes, misappropriation be misappropriation. Whether he gave it to opposition party, whether he gave it to the aid of the former president, whether he gave it to the Select Committee of Parliament or whatever, no, it's a misappropriation. And you know, I know it doesn't solve the problem. Same way in Ebusia, Kelvin Ekobedito na Suchimu say yes. During the era of the Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, no, some officers of NCA, Michigan National Communication Authority, they also misappropriated some funds. They made procurement breaches. Sadram can say Krampono. And I'm so maybe could PMO or someone's prisoner. Now I'm finding in CA. The current acting IGP, acting Chief Justice, Justice Bafubon, Nimia Bako, no a board and also a member of the NCA, Sabi there. Because of that misappropriation, to be PMOs, if you are a new Chief Krampono, it was Yanfo Fianto Ata. And when they said they me jail in the Pebino, Kavia Kobeduto Lachim say, about the Botechino, Yet Baba, or the reaction about Kwabena Boahen in summer or the two guys say, Sikano, and yes, no, almost, I say, I find his ass in them, watch it or this can I bush reactions are Kevin, a Kobeduto Lade Abba.
What I want to tell the Attorney General is simple. The Attorney General should just shoot. The Attorney General has made his case. The Attorney General needs to stick to his case. Whatever Boahen, when it's and that evidence also one, he should give it to his lawyer. At this point, Boahen knows he's going to jail. His lawyer, who is Atachia, who is a former criminal, because Atachia sat at the housing department ministry. He did a lot of deals. I exposed him with facts. Atachia till date, he could not answer those deals he was signing for NPP members. Atachia Segleme Housing told us that some monies were missing and that he did not take the money and that it was his chief director at his ministry. Till date, this Atachia, this criminal, this dark, black, devilish, arching police criminal is this guy's lawyer. So you should know where he's coming from. Now they want to play mind games. And the mind games they want to play, they want to take people's mind from the main issue. They want to throw out a couple of unnecessary, baseless memo. Let me tell you, a memo cannot defend you in court. What the Attorney General is holding, the Ekuta Attorney General, the allegation the Attorney General has made, that is what you need to do, respond to. Now, I've seen the NPP people trying to make this conversation about some stupid memo this guy has released. The question here is, the memo the guy has released, does it answer the questions the Attorney General is posing to this guy? And the question I want to ask this guy, Boahen, is simple. All the monies that you paid to the so-called people you said you paid when you were the head of NSB, who gave you the authorization to pay? Because that money is government money. Unless you want to tell me Kandapa signed it off for you to pay. Because if even the national security budget is not published, nobody can just go into the national security monies and just pick and start paying. So I want to ask Edu Boahen, we have heard you. You have a memo. You have paid some monies. Who gave you the authorization to pay those monies? Because if you had not paid those monies, those people wouldn't have gotten the money. Those people on the committee, I don't care about them. Because if the money wasn't available, they wouldn't get access to the money. So the question here is, did the people on the committee, did they pull a gun at you for you to go into government money, to go pick government money to pay them? Because the fact of the case is, all the allegations the Attorney General, Editor Wosono, you have deviated or moved away from the allegations. Now you are telling us your story. If you think you have a story, if you think you have defense, if you think you have facts to prove your case, we are not the ones you are supposed to show memo to. These are things that are supposed to be weapons that your lawyer will use in court. This should be a surprise to the Attorney General. But you know the reason why they are doing this? It is psychological. It is to divert the conversation. It is to cause for public sympathy. That is what they are doing. Now, so we say MPP for argument. Almost say, Edu Boahen position na occupy no a very sensitive position, a national security position. And he is not supposed to be going through this. That is the argument from the people who are on the sidelines telling us that they have integrity and credibility and that we should give them another nod to come to power. Abaina ba me ache Edu Boahen. Emma abaina ko yenhwehwemu at the end of the day Attorney General file case at the court. The NPP na omudi akwa we betena office na owie sika no. Omu ka say we should not follow the money. We should not try and prosecute this guy because a Jumana guy we no na a national security job, a very sensitive, and that he handles sensitive information. Oh, really? Now, this story we are talking about, NSB, the same as NCA. They all are under a national security. Now, the same MPP in 2017, 18, 19, who were calling Judge Brefo to jail the appointees and NCA, then under NDC, you know. Today, these people are telling us, oh, Edu Boahen, also NSB, he falls under national security or a sensitive position. Now, these are the similarities between Edu Boahen case way and NCA for now, Judge Brefo Ejeli. What is the difference between that case and this case? Yakacha say NCA for more under NDC, you know, they did what? They did a lot of misappropriation of funds. They actually did some purchase and asset procurement, which was against the law, procurement breaches. They said a lot of things. Now, NCA for MPP through Judge Brefo Ejeli. What is the difference between a Juma normal year and a Juma na Edu Boahen and the Olusujina court? But their argument is that we should not touch Edu Boahen. Edu Boahen could have sensitive information. Now, one of NCA no, and I check Judge Brefo tina kunyum, Ejeli omo, and they could follow those instructions no. Na sanko for no, were they not also in charge of sensitive documents? Look at the similarities in the two cases. Now, both NCA case, which that case you know about, Judge Brefo Ejeli. NCA for now almost share Mahama appointee. These are the similarities in the two cases. And remember, the NCA and the NSB, they all work under their national security. So who is making an argument to say Edu Boahen handles sensitive information, so we cannot prosecute Edu Boahen because he has put out some stupid memo? Now, both the NCA case and the Kwabena Edu Boahen's case involves allegation of financial misconduct within Ghana's security and regulatory institutions. So the two cases are similar. The charges na Edu Boahen, it is not too different from the charges Yadibo NCA for na and Mahama ya appointee omana Ekufuado Obaya through Judge Brefo no omujeli omono. Now, one, what were the charges and what are the similarities? Misappropriation of funds. Now, in both cases, officials were accused of diverting large sums of money for unauthorized purposes. In today's case, it's the same thing. Edu Boahen has diverted funds through unauthorized for unauthorized purposes. NCA for no allegation to it was the same thing. You can say they have diverted funds to go do unauthorized things. Now it says Edu Boahen's allegation allegedly transferred $49 million cities, 49 million for the National Signal Bureau, that is the NSB, to private accounts, while the NCA case involved officials misusing funds meant for cybersecurity infrastructure. What's the difference? National security implications. These are the similarities in the cases. Now, the accused in both cases justified their financial transactions as necessary for national security operations. Boahen's leaked memo claimed that funds were used for intelligence activities, including payments to MPs for passing security laws. Similarly, the NCA case involved contracts for surveillance and equipment. So why are you saying the NCA case, those people who were handling the same information, and also those same people who were, at the end of the day, the surveillance equipment, we were saying were not right, the way they purchased and the way they used it, Why are we today saying, Boahen there, he handles sensitive information, so we should not talk about Boahen. We should allow Boahen to work, because if we don't stop him, he will spill the beans. He can spill the wache. Boahen can spill the wache. The question is, whatever you used government money to do, were you given the authorization, and who gave you the authorization? Because Atachia knows you are going to jail for over 30 years. He is trying to muddy the system. He is trying to distract the system. You can spill the wache. The beans is not enough. Add the rice to it and spill it. Because until you spill the whole wache, still, Salah will go on. Similarities in Binye. Political connections. Both cases had political undertones. Boahen's memo suggested that 8.3 million Ghana was spent on an opposition party's election coalition effort, raising concerns about political interference. The NCA case also involves officials with political ties. So how different is the NCA case from this Boahen case? It's the same. The difference that you are trying to create is that Boahen is putting memo out. I don't care about memo. I care about the allegations the Attorney General at the end of the day is putting before the court. Have you answered those allegations? And you are not supposed to answer to me. Your lawyer is supposed to guide you to answer those allegations so that you don't go to jail for 25 years. Abaya di bo techino, sa ba na yede bebo ba, sa ba Johnson hu yede ba ne bebo no. NSB nipa we Boahen, obetima ne ne ho, obetima Johnson ho, obetima afi, abane yede bo techino, sa ba ne bebo ba, so he can spill the wache. Nobody cares. What I care about is what the Attorney General is going after. The Attorney General is being paid to go after criminals, and the Attorney General is being told to go with the fact. So the fact is what we are looking at, not your memo. Your memo can defend you. I give it to your lawyer to defend you in court. My mention is here in 2020. Afejomakin Kasongo 99. He spoke on the NCA trial. He spoke and he told us their stand as MPP. This is Afejomakin in 2020. Today, they are making a different argument.
It is a court, not a political party. I've heard some lawyers making their own commentary about this. I would urge them strongly that any disagreement thereof, they should quickly file the appeal and get the system running. Okay. It is the best way to go any day. To me, the people out there must not see this as a political issue. The NDC as a party must not, go on that tangent that, because these were appointees in the NDC era, we think this or that. After all, Abu Gapili was a member of parliament, an NDC senior member, but it was in the NDC era that he was tried and eventually jailed. So let us separate politics from crime.
So what they are saying exactly by what you just mentioned is that there's a lot of it happening now, the corruption you are pointing to, which led to this people being put on trial. And they say the real test of your fight against corruption is not prosecuting former appointees, it's prosecuting appointees within your regime.
Okay, so that now takes us again back to politics and speculation. Is it that they have filed a complaint with evidence of corruption or evidence of criminal conduct, and the Special Prosecutor's Office has failed to act on it?
Here, Okotina News File, May 6th, 2020. He was telling Ghanaians, he said, as some about our NCA case, It is more of a political we end this before a political issue. And you're political. He said we should separate politics from crime. Sata na NCA for Juma under John Mahama 2016 power 2017. They were prosecuting them. After the market sat on news file, said no. We should separate politics from crime. Today they are telling us that Boahen occupied a sensitive position and that this is a witch hunt and that the Attorney General does not know his job. The Attorney General is just attacking the guy. Oh, the way they think, the sense of entitlement. The sense of entitlement. Say, nobody should talk about them. But when it is the other side, they have the right, the moral right to speak on it. These are the things I tell you about. These are people you cannot trust as a political party. This same Kasongo 99, aka Afenyomakin, if you sit him down and ask him about Edian and about Boahen Asemna, he's going to tell you, you know something, John Mahama, he wants third term. That is why he's doing this. Wait, Jimmy, because he knows that the followers of the party, majority of them are ignorant.
There was the way Kevin Ranton and I said, give and take. The answer, area to me, and under MPP. Nanado are buying AJLE, some officers of NDC previous administration there. Some people NDC so about there. 9 people need be wrong. They need to also face the law. They need to face the law. And it's a question there. The answer if you answer by science, MPP before JLE NDC for the NDC so about say MPP appointees being so no maybe a fakwema. They need to be tried, and if they are found guilty, they will have to suffer the penalty for it. Probably do wine and send me the images to make because a summer at say, hey, we'll be ourselves, Eddie Memoeba. Easy. In Tebusian, stay tuned on this channel for all the update on this. The King Cabinet Boahen, 49 million Ghana cedis a year to say he has misappropriated the funds, I say, or causing financial loss to the state and one seminar and yen nena ebeka. Update the about will be ano. Bishop was said on this channel. Stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to comment on this video and also share the video for others to have access to it. I am so for Nana Apia Bye bye.